Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha the Preacher. Okay. Hey, I am Dr. Leisha the Preacher, the lady with the tambourine. I love my tambourine, y'all. I like to make some noise, a joyful noise unto the Lord, okay? All right, so I am going to make this live video short and rather quick, okay? And so basically, as I go through a series of live videos explaining why I believe my husbands left me, why they left me perhaps biblically, legally, socially, okay? I'm gonna have to write this down. This is becoming a curriculum. This is Dr. Leisha the Preacher's Divination University. I'm finally at the point where I can present curriculum. Okay. All right. So you all know that I am poly. Okay. Uh, I was introduced to the poly lifestyle. It was forced upon me as a child from ages 5 to 11. I was bounced between three uncles. So that's when it was forced on me as a child. But how it showed up in my life later, when I was a young woman and could choose for myself if I want a boy, a man, or whoever to touch me, when I was able to make those decisions for myself, which came fast because I was introduced to being touched so young and unregulated, unchecked, illegal. Illegal is important, y'all. Even in incest, even in um, poly. Anyway, back to this. So, again, when I started dating, I noticed that my boyfriends had other girlfriends. And I noticed around in middle school, girls would fight over boys. It may happen in elementary school sometimes, but not too much. But in middle school, girls will physically fight over a boy. I'm just not the fighter type anyway. I'm like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson says, I'm a lover, not a fighter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not the type to physically fight over a man, technically. But I will pull off my earrings and put on some Vaseline. I'm just saying. I'm from the hood, guys. It is what it is. I'm from the hood. If you're in the room, thanks for attending our class. Click like and subscribe. All right, so anyway, so I noticed that these guys like to date other girls besides me. So either I can be upset about it or go with it, you know. And I realized the reason why I was interested in going with it is because these girls were cute. I'm just saying they were cute. It is what it is. So I was comfortable early on, as far as high school, dating a guy who I knew was probably seeing other girls in the background. I was the main girl, you know what I mean? And I can't say every single guy had other girls in the background. I really wouldn't know. I wasn't checking like that. I don't be checking for other girls. I'm so focused on my dream. I'm so focused on my family's legacy and wealth building. I don't have time for who he's, how the city girl said. You know. So I ain't got time for all that. So anyway, but what happened was legal marriage became an issue in my life. I realized when you put legal marriage, when you inject it like a poison or something into your relationships, it creates some type of tension, competition, or something. I don't know. I have to put some more research into it. But for right now, I want to focus on this right here, something I wrote. Okay, it's in my hand. But so legal marriage allowed me to realize that wait a minute, my boyfriends, husbands, my men, you know, them being able to see other women before legal marriage felt different than after legal marriage. After legal marriage, I changed on it a little bit. And then after I had my first child, I really changed. And I'm not even sure why. You know what I'm saying? So, after husband number two left me for another woman high and dry and broke, busted and disgusted, I hit the wall and was thrown to the streets like the red pillars say. That shit ain't fun, y'all. It ain't fun. And I'm a DrLesiaThePreacha. I'm a preacher that God has appointed. Straight from the hood, from the grit. And he don't regret it. He don't regret pulling a girl from Detroit, Michigan out of the grit up through the education system to get a PhD, even though it might be kind of raggedy. But it's still a PhD. Okay? Somehow he managed to do that. And I was married twice to decent men. Both were college educated and black. I married two quote unquote black men that were college educated. And to this day, they are doing so well. They're married to other successful women. And I want to tell you exactly why all of this happened. I have broken it down. And this is a new paper. Guys, I have so many papers of research to explain what happened to me and how it relates to this election, how it relates to my children, how it relates to, let me just tell you. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm just going to be me, DrLesiaThePreacha, born and raised in Detroit, Michigan in 1969 by teenage parents who were married because they were pregnant with me. Somehow, someway, Most High allowed me to end up getting a freaking PhD. I never really got to use it because legal marriage robbed me. See, I'm not coming from where y'all think I'm coming from. Stay with me, stay with me. When I'm done, not only will husbands, wives, other women, and all our children will be free. Don't play with me. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. Okay. So, the pros and cons of polyamory. The The pros and cons of multiple relationships. The pros and cons of whatever you want to call it. Cheating, whatever. You have more than one person at the end of the day. And you know who you are. You know who you are. I knew who I was when I was doing it. My husbands knew who they were when they were doing it. And okay, back to explaining how I jumped on board. So halfway through my second marriage, I realized this man is cheating on me. I'm being played again. We were married 25 years. So somewhere around 2010, 2011, I'm like, this is happening to me again, again. And I'm doing everything I possibly can. I'm checking all the boxes this time. Even though statistics say the second marriage shouldn't last. But it still lasts 25 years, even with the issues. And I'm strategic. I made it last that long. It was done halfway through, but we stretched some more out of it. And I know statistics say, don't stay for the kids. And statistics say a lot of stuff. It really do. And it's helpful information. But sometimes life experience can override statistics. Yes, sometimes my Afro, Indio, West African slavery background will override statistics. That's what this woman from the hood with a PhD has learned after 32 years of legal marriage in America. Yes, 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 yes. And I know there are people out there who's like, I don't want to hear this, woman. I can't stand black women. My second husband looked me in the face right after we were married, not before we were married. Not before we were married. He waited until after we were married. Okay, we're college graduates. I'm working on my master's degree. He hasn't started his master's degree yet. Okay? So, he's looking at me, telling me my dark skin was evil. Of course, I don't believe this man, but at the same time, I don't believe this man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I said, here I am again, being left for another woman. Can't stop it. No fault divorce. I can't stop it. Can't stop it. It's no fault divorce season. People can get married and leave you the next day for no good reason, if they want to. And we live in a world that say, oh, just get over it, move on. Really? Really? Is that where we're at now in life? We just let people just manipulate us, deceive us, and just let it roll off our backs. Well, I say no. No, 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 no. Time out, time out, time out, time out. And let me show you why I came up with this little paper thing, okay? The pros and cons. The pros and cons of being poly, okay? And I'm just going to mix it together, okay? And I'll start with husband number 2. Let's start with husband number 2 because he's fun. He's fun. You know, he's fun. We've been friends. Well, we were friends. We're friends since 9th grade. 9th grade. So I know this man inside out. I would know him better than this second wife he just married within the last month or so. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Will ever know him. She has no idea. So anyway, here we go. Husband number 2. The pros and cons associated with marriage number two. The good thing about husband number two was we knew each other. We went to high school together. We were in the same honors program together. We were friends. I fixed him up with his prom date, which happened to be a white girl. So I don't have a problem with white girls at all. And like I said in my other life, halfway through the marriage, when we opened it up, after 1 year of research, we researched opening up marriages for a year, decided to move into that realm of it. We started testing it out mostly as swingers, so he and I would mostly pick couples, whatever, um, testing it out, so whatever, you can judge us, it's okay. So, so he, the good thing about him was we knew each other. And he was the kind of guy, obviously, I felt safe and comfortable exploring alternative things with. You know what I mean? And, we knew each other's families. The history was rich. I was his cheerleader. Um, and he was just somebody I could call. You know, he was one of those people that was easy to talk to. You know, you didn't think that he would go and tell your business somewhere else, kind of thing. So those were the good things about him in the relationship. But once we were married, things changed. It didn't take long either. It was like, but we didn't have traditional dating either. It was no premarital sex. We didn't have sex until our wedding night, stuff like that. So he was just different. I follow the lead of my man. I follow the lead of my man. If my man say we ain't having sex till we married, I just wait. Period. If I'm with a dude that need it right now while we standing here talking, then girlfriend, do what you gotta do, okay? I'm just saying. That's what a wife, a helpmeet, support does. She analyzes her partner and give him what he needs. But you have to meet at the well first. That's the thing, the meeting at the well. Bishop preached on this last weekend when we was at the wrestling match event. Okay, the wrestling match event. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know who I am. I may be 105 pounds, but I will kick your ass. Just because I preach and teach God's word, don't mean that I won't hurt you. What Bible do you read? What Bible do you read? So anyway, husband number two. I started with him because this channel started because of him, because of our marriage 7 years ago. 7 years ago. So, again, to me, I married him because he was the best guy on this earth that I could find. And I didn't need to go all over the damn earth to meet every man on earth to know who was for me. I didn't need to travel all over the damn earth in the world and screw and test every man to know. He was right in my community. But I was fast in high school. I was touched as a young child, shared by 3 uncles from ages 5 to 11 for 6 years of my life. Unchecked, unregulated, complete incest, no compensation, no punishment, nothing. So when I did come across the man of my dreams, my twin flame, the one person that no one else could touch on this earth, the one who advertised himself as being pure. He said he prayed for a wife, and God said I was it. I'm just saying, the shit could be fake. I don't know, but it would sound good to me, and I am an actress, and I am a cheerleader. I am holy and lively, and that sounds good, and I went for it. Who doesn't want to marry the guy from high school who has been kind of sort of waiting for them their whole life? Who don't want that? Well, I went for that shit, okay? He could have been lying his ass off, but I ain't care. You know what I mean? Every church girl want that man. And he looked like a preacher and a engineer and, already got his job and all that. Come on now. Whether you the first, whatever. So he was it for me. I, you know. So, getting back. So that's all the good stuff about husband number two. He was that dream come true husband. The dream come true husband. But then the lady from Germany showed up. A strange woman. A strange woman. That Germany lady. This Germany strange woman, in my case, the heifer lived next door. Lived in my neighborhood next door, across the street, something, whatever. She was nearby. He didn't have to go far to look. He lazy. A lazy cheater just go next door. What? Can you at least pick her up in Germany? So, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so yeah, the downfall of Polly with the second husband is that he didn't tell me he was. He never, to this day, admit that he was ever seeing anyone outside of us discussing it, me bringing it to the forefront. Because I'm tired of the game. I'm tired of being played. The writing's on the wall. I see it in your life. Come on, bruh. I've been through this before. You don't think I know what's going on? But we didn't have the kind of relationship where we argue, fuss, and fight. We tried to act like the Huxtables on TV. Because we went to college. We from the hood. We from the hood now. Come on. We had cussing, fussing mamas. I ain't got to say nothing else. Even though our mothers were married and had husbands and, lived good life, we had good lives. We come from working class people. But we still had cussing, fussing mamas. So I'm going to put it right there. Right there. I ain't got to say nothing else. And happy birthday, Ma. I love my mom. Happy birthday. So anyway, this strange woman, that Germany kind of woman who feel like black women in America, black people in general, just, what did she say, the black community, black family, she made it so black, generalized black. Americans, specifically us, Americans, we don't feed our men over here. She has to bring this man fresh fruit, because we don't have no fruits over here. What? This man never saw breakfast, lunch, and dinner before over there. If that ain't a slam to every black man and woman in this country, that a woman from Germany, what is their history in dealing with people? Don't they burn folks up? And she talking about we don't feed our black men over here. Black women ain't the only people that's responsible for feeding black men over here, or black boys or black children. Black women are not the only ones responsible for that boo-boo bear. These men got daddies that's supposed to provide for them. And yes, over here in America, black women, black men, black families, the black culture, we know what breakfast, lunch, and dinner is over here. And we cook. And we do clean. Girl, my house may be a mess right now, but we know how to clean. Do you know we did most of the domestic work here? And when we were done cleaning up Master House over here, young lady, over there in Germany, we was breastfeeding their kids. and still had to catch the bus home. If we can even had a spot on the bus in the back somewhere. Sometimes we had to walk home at night after cleaning up after Massa, his wife, and children all day, feeding them and carrying on domestically, cleaning up and stuff. Then we had to go home and do the shit for our husbands too. Girl! Don't play with over here. Don't play over here. Don't do that to us over here. And the white woman next door, I was good to my husband. White woman next door, strange woman next door. That's one of the downfalls of poly. Sometimes the husband will let some stranger come. And nowadays, it's legal for two men to marry. So I can't even limit it to the white woman next door no more. It can be the man next door of any nation. The woman next door of any nation. It's not about black and white like that no more. If anything, black and white in America need to merge and just become nation. The nation of America and its immigrants. Something of like that. It ain't about black and white no more. You either an original or you're not. We gotta come together and not be stealing each other's husbands. Don't steal my husband, my pension, my children. Who can afford to be stolen from in this country? Home record laws need to be amended. These women need to pay, especially if they making money. This woman is a whole nurse. Now, were you a nurse when I was in the mental hospital 5 times? Or were you a nurse when he was a cancer patient? Because if you were a nurse during any of that time, then we need to sue you. If you were a nurse during any of the time that I had 5 suicide attempts dealing with him, then you need to be sued, Miss Nurse, white lady next door. Yes. So that was, a downfall with him. And then we had no seed together. No seed together. If a man, for whatever reason, does not produce seed with his wife, you can't afford legally to be cheating on her. Because you're going to break your bank twice. You're going to break your bank with your wife legally. And you're going to break your bank with child support with the outside woman, with the strange woman. What sense do that make? Time to wake up. But, there's always good and bad to everything. So that second marriage was supposed to be the marriage of all marriages. Not only in my life, but for a lot of the lives within our lives. But he was seduced by a strange woman that was very close. Very close. Right next door. Now, this wasn't new to us. There was a strange woman right in our home before. We had a visitor that lived with us for a while who needed help. She became his lover too. But I had compassion in that situation because I opened my door. There's a difference between inviting someone in your home, clothing them and feeding them, and they get too comfortable, than someone who just steal your man, steal your husband, sleeping with him behind your back, don't ask you, don't contact you. That's just flat out thievery. Isn't that in the 10 Commandments? Covet not your neighbor's wife, husband, or anything. Y'all wrong, y'all wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong. Period. All right. But the good thing is, when he forced me to adopt a child for him. Before marriage, we had discussed the possibility of adoption. And I was willing to adopt, of course. However, not 1 or 2 years after marriage. That was too soon. I needed to make sure our family was solid first. I came in with 2 kids. You know I'm an educator. You know I have dreams and goals. Why would you push and pound a child on me right there as I was completing my thesis, ready to launch my master's degree? But this is why the man left me. He left me. He left me. He left me. So, right when I'm ready to, he doubled down on me, And I cried and cried for 2 years, stalling and hesitating to sign those adoption papers. We had a child in our home for 2 years. Signing those adoption papers meant giving up my career. I already put 2 kids through divorce. Here is a child that we don't even have to have in our home right now. That's wrong all by itself. That's abuse. That's abuse. And I did let the state know, and I do have a letter that I sent to the state saying that this is a mistake. This is a mistake. I'll let the state know exactly how I felt about the situation. One day I'll read it live. Very soon. So anyway, I went on and adopted this child for this man. Gave up any possibility of being independent, being able to care for my children that I came into the marriage with by myself. I gave it up because he wanted a child. We adopted this child. I cried every day for 2 years. This man looked me in my face for 2 years with tears, having sex like a porn star. And I had to sign them adoption papers anyway. I think that's when I snapped and lost my mind and went crazy right then. But I got 3 kids now. He thinks I'm evil and black. My ex-husband was laughing in the background, waiting for me to fail in this marriage. Everybody was waiting for me to fail because my dream husband became a nightmare. My dream husband became a nightmare. And I raised that child, and I loved them the best I could. We gave him a good life. He went to suburban schools. He played AAU. He, went to college on a scholarship. And, he's an assistant basketball coach. He's one of those success stories, adoption sex stories, success stories, very successful stories. He's successful more than I am. I was forced to raise someone and make them better than me. But because he was raised by a man who don't like black people, even though he's black, He never ever dated a black girl. My son never dated a black girl. He don't even like black girls. He think we're ugh. He only date white girls. I raised someone to hate me. He wouldn't even let me go to his college graduation because my husband's white wife, the one he left me for, was there. They chose her to go. She didn't raise him. I did. So now that he's legally married to this woman, now I have a position. I can stand now. Before, when they was just playing around behind my back and in my face, for I don't even know when they met. Who knows? We bought the house in 2016. So from sometime in 2016 on up to who knows, I have no idea, guys. It was a strange woman that came out of nowhere and just plucked my husband out of my pornography bed. So anyway, at the end of the day, I'm so much better now. You won't believe it. But I'm a good actress, you know, and I'm using fresh content. This is my life and it's happening right now. It's real. You can check fact. Please check fact. If you can find out when my ex-husband met this woman, shouldn't I be able to sue her? I mean, in Michigan, it's not legal. Governor Gretchen, in Michigan, you're a Democrat. Can you do something about that? Can you change the home record rules? I know that's more of a Republican thing to do, but girl, it's hard out here. It's hard out here. These men can marry each other and they can run through families and bust them up and go to the neighbor like it's nothing, like it's easy. And I'm out here making stars, sacrificing my career for these men. I ain't do nothing that wrong. Come on, y'all. Come on. It ain't about being ugly. It ain't about being nothing. It's called be a fucking man that's committed to your family. Be a man. Be committed. Stay there. Eat the grit. That's why this country is not ready to fight. That's why we've been infiltrated and taken over. Because we're uncommitted. We let anything happen and anything go now. That's not how I was raised. That's not how I was raised. In this country, it don't have to go back to the way it was, but it can't stay like this either. It can't stay like this either. Somebody got to get mad. Somebody got to fight. Somebody got to do something. Because I can't live in no country where a president or an ex-president can get shot at and nothing happen. What the? A woman with mental illness like me can be in her home scared of perpetrators possibly being outside and end up shot in the head by the police that she called for help for? What? And I'm not supposed to be mad about this? Really? Long story short, now that he's legally married to this woman, I'm no longer obligated to this man at all. At all. He is someone else's problem. She went out of her way behind my back in the deepest secret I've ever experienced to have this man. So fine, nurse. You can have my husband. Have him. But you know what? Bring my son back home. If you a white woman out there, a German woman, any other woman, And you have Afro children out there, and you have them because you think we don't know what the fuck we doing? Really? You need to return them. Return them. You can keep the low down people who arranged it. That nurse next door to me, she can keep my no good, nasty husband. But you gonna give me my son back. You took his graduation from me. You took his college graduation from me, you trifling heifer. Trifling heifer. You took my adopted son's college graduation from me. Where I come from, where I come from, I'm just gonna leave it right there. Leave it right there. Okay, so we're done with husband number two. That was husband number two, y'all. See how quick I snapped back? I'm just saying. Let me take a little drink, y'all. This is just some blue Mexican mix drink from McDonald's. But I like drinking out of, mason jars and stuff sometimes. If I'm not drinking out of the mason jar, then I'm drinking out of my favorite plastic wine thingy. So anyway, let me calm down. Husband number two. Ooh, let me burn some sage because this is some different energy, y'all. Totally different experience. Totally different. Now that first example I gave, husband number two, that was a very, very, very bad example of poly. Men should not treat women and their families this way. Number two is bad, bad, bad. Okay? Especially when you got the kind of wife that's very understanding, already have experience, already, just did research, know how to. I mean, it's just no excuse. Some people are just determined to be low down, no good and dirty. They're just determined. Secretive and deceptive when it's just no reason to be. In or out the law. In or out the law. Either way, no reason. That's just who they are. So let me clear the energy from husband number two. Now I'm going to go back to husband number one, which is the foundation husband. Husband number two was the dream come true husband. You know what I mean? Like, it was like Mary and Bill Cosby kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. But husband number one. So husband number two was the Bill Cosby experience gone wrong. Didn't that happen to Bill Cosby actually? In his real life, he ended up being accused of being with a whole bunch of white women. Anyway, so husband number one, the foundation husband. I met him at 18 years old. I was 18, y'all. 18. Woo! Bling bling. You know what I'm saying? 18, bling bling. That was me. So I met him at college. I'm done with high school. Made it from the hood, y'all. Graduated from high school. Graduated from hood high school too. Okay, hood school. Metal detector, shootouts, all that. Survived all that. Survived frequent shootouts and being rushed at, rallies and things, whatever. So survived that. I'm at college. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to need one boyfriend to make it through all of college. I just want one. Just through college. I don't want to be ran through. I don't want to be ran through. Just one guy, and we'll just rat it through. Okay. So I tested out a couple of guys, just went on a couple dates. I only have to go on like 1-2 dates with you. I don't have to do anything intimate at all with a guy to know if I want to see you again. So you get like 2 dates. I know. So the third guy was the one. He met all the. He was just the one. You know what I mean? Not the guy in my life that I should marry. You know what I mean? Not like the dream guy. You know what I mean? The dream husband. Nothing like that. He was just my freshman in college ideal boyfriend. He fitted. He was already a football player. Now I was a, cheerleader, gymnast, dancer, all that stuff in high school, right? So here I am in college. I don't want to do any of this in college. I want to be a pharmacist. I'm going to be focused. I'm happy. You know. So here comes one of the football players, a black one. Because I'm not really into white guys like that or any other guy like that. I mean, yes, I find other men very, 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 very attractive. But when it comes to that, when I was in my stages of like breeding stages, like I was young and could breed, um, I knew I was going to have black kids. Period. Whatever black is, I was going to have that. I knew that. So no one was going to take that from me. Although I find other men and women very, very, very attractive. Very attractive. However, when it comes to mating, breeding, having babies, I really believe in keeping my culture alive. Keep it going. I believe it's biblically right. For me, I'm not saying for everybody. I'm not putting this on everybody. Just me. So husband number one, we met in college. Just so you know where we met. The first one was high school. I mean, the husband number two. I knew him first in high school, but number two, we met in college. So in college, we were able to plan a life together, have a vision. The things we were learning in school, we were able to put together a plan, a life plan. And so to this day, currently, he's married on wife number three. But I want to show you the difference between how the husbands did it. So, husband number one, I married him at age 20 years old. He is currently married to a queen. When I say he's married to a queen, he's married to a black woman. She's a little bit older than me. So he married someone that I can look up to. It's a smart man. It's a smart man. Now, he's on wife number three. Okay, so wife number three is a queen. Someone that I can admire. Someone that I can adore. She got it. She already is where I'm trying to go. Now let's back it up a little bit. He cheated on me. And I left him. And he married her. So wife number two is a similar situation as that second husband. But the difference is, she tried to reach out to me. She did reach out to me. She did reach out to me. Some people want to repent. They have a repentant mind, a repentant heart. So, it didn't stop her from going after him. In fact, I just moved out the way. I don't fight. I don't compete. Hey, if he wants you, okay. I'm not going to stay here and let this man abuse me just because he wants you. I'm not going to let a man hurt me just because he wants you. Just go be with you. What's the problem? You know? So I left, let them do it. She and I, over time, once she started going through what I was put through, she started going through what I was put through. You know what I'm saying? So we were able to become sisters. We're more like sister wives. We even got our PhDs together. There you go. We pursued PhDs at the same time. Not the same degree at the same time, but you know what I'm saying? We were in school at the same time, different programs, pursuing similar stuff. So when I was raising kids, and while she was raising kids, we were like sisters raising kids together. And we would, bicker sometimes as sisters do. But for the most part, we was just happy to have kids. We 4 daughters. I got 2 daughters by him. She had 2 daughters. We became a family. So to me, my first husband, you know, he is married to wife number 3, which is a queen. And ultimately, because I divorced him, I'm the one that gave up my right to basically oversee the family's wealth. He and I started a business together, which he still runs today. So we have a family legacy. Okay. So I'm wife number 1. And as not wife number 1, I'm the first wife. I offered him seed. He gave me seed, whatever you want to put it. We have seed. And we also have a family business that's still active and alive today. So he hit the jackpot with me as I hit the jackpot with him because we have offspring together. We have 7 grandsons and 1 granddiva. Boom, boom! So husband number 1, we're still alive. Even though we're divorced. We're divorced. We're still alive. Polly that works. Polly that works. I respect him today. I respect his wife today. I respect the fact that before he married this one, he allowed us to meet. My God! My God! Me and this man are not romantically, intimately involved like that. Not since before I left. Not since before I left. Just days before. Because I don't care what I go through in a marriage. Until we gone, 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 I'm going to ride that pony. That's just how. Sex is never an excuse. Never an excuse. So, but anyway, so I have never been with that man since we broke up. Never, ever, ever. But I respect him to this day because of the decisions he made. And when he make a mistake, he's willing to fix it. He's willing to fix it. At least with me. So like I said, he made a mistake by cheating on me with wife number 2. But he fixed it by allowing us all to figure out how to be a family. She and I used to take the kids on vacations together, all kind of stuff. It was fun. And then they didn't work out. Duh. It didn't work out. So then he eventually had to go through the process the right way. And again, when he was looking for wife number 3, he included us in the process because we got to live with these people, right? Now, as far as I don't know who all get along or not in the family. It's none of my business. But I get along with the ex. I get along with wife number 2. I get along with wife number 3. And there's just no reason not to. So life can go just as smooth in the poly world, where the husband, the wives, and the kids, grandkids, can all grow together. So scenario 1, husband number 1, to me works like a smooth poly situation, even including the mistakes. Husband number two is Poly Nightmare. It was just, and the only thing that I can get out of that is my adopted son. And my adopted son, he may not, you know, respect me, value me. He may not even have any value for black women in his life or whatever. And I don't even know what to do with that. He's a grown man with this type of energy, and I really don't know what to do with that shit. But and he disagrees. He disagrees that he feel like I'm accusing him of something that's not there. He gonna have to show me the receipts of how it's not there. I'm the mother that raised you, and I don't see the love. I wasn't invited to anything related to your high school graduation. Nothing related to that. Not allowed to go to the college stuff, and all that. And I'm just not a part of that life. At first, I was like trying to be strong, saying, okay, well, he left me. The boys were 21 and 22 when he left, and they all can just go with him. I can't, raise men to be men, all this kind of stuff. I was just, just sucking it up, trying to be strong, you know what I'm saying? Just let men be men, let them go, you know? I was really trying. Because we had two sons. Because once my younger one turned 2, then I just felt like he needed a brother. He needs somebody in this family that is going to go through life with him. Supposedly, my husband and I were supposed to have each other, which we didn't, just sexually mostly. And then my daughters, they had each other. And then, the boys, the one son, he needs a little brother. He needs somebody. So that's where my second son, the second adopted kid, come in. And you may say that's stupid and crazy, and yeah, it probably was. Yeah, I admit. You're talking to a crazy lady, or a crazy lady is talking to you. But I'm trying to explain my craziness. I'm trying to explain. I mean, that's the best way to analyze crazy people, is to let us talk. Let crazy people talk and explain the madness. Explain the madness. And what triggered me to reconsider when it comes to my son is this whole Kamala Harris and Biden and Trump, this whole election thing. I got to thinking, I'm Afro, Indio, Native, original. I come from the original bloodline of natives of America. Well, it wasn't called America back then. You know what I'm saying? And of course, yes, West African slaves breeded with us. So I got like 3 inbreedings going on. Yes, my West African slavery blood. I got my native Afro and my native Indio, whatever that is. You know what I mean? I think the Afro Indio is some type of something. We got to do more research on that one. I do anyway. I know what was out there, but I just need to do a little more research on the whole Afro Indio. Both being native. That's interesting. I just think it's interesting. I think there's Afros here native that are nappy head, and there's the straight heads. The nappy heads and the straight heads. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I got to thinking, this is all about each nation, each culture, whatever word you want to use, claiming its piece of the pie here in America. The quote unquote Indians want their piece. The black people want their piece. And then, of course, the white man wants his piece. Even though he came in way after the fact, he still breeded and has descendants. Yeah, everybody breeded with the Afro and the Indios. people breeded with us, and we breeded with each other, just really to protect each other, really look out for each other. And so, and so it's just a big old melting pot mess here. You know what I'm saying? And so we're trying to iron through all of this, and legally, the woman that the home wrecker that took my husband, she legally has him. But technically, my son is still mine. Both of those boys are still mine. So I'm going to be praying on this, okay? Because for a while there, I was very emotionally distraught. And, I mean, when a man tell you early on, like right out of your honeymoon bed, that you just a black evil woman, I mean, like, what? We just got married. I ain't had time to be evil yet. Ain't nobody had time to be evil. What you talking about, bro? I just had to like what? you know, it, you know what I mean? Like, and then over time, whew, I just thank God I'm out of that. You know what I mean? I really am. And and so now that I've had time to rebuild, get in that word and have other people lift me up and build me up, um, along the way, I think I can handle my sons. It's just that I lived a whole life of being abused by boys and men. I lived my whole life that way, and the same boys that I raised, their very adoptive father abused me too. You know what I'm trying to say? So yes, I'm scared of my sons. There's a part of me that is scared of my sons. What if they snap on me? What if they try to hit me, or if they go off on me? He ain't gonna be here. He laying up with his white woman, thinking I'm evil and deserve whatever these boys would do to me. I just don't know if I would be safe with grown. They 25 and 26 now. I don't know. He didn't raise them to like honor me and respect me, and I mean, I'm not even allowed to go to major stuff like graduations and stuff. Like, I've never done anything to those boys. You can ask any social worker, you can ask any basketball coach, you can ask any teacher at their school. I was a substitute teacher at my kids' school for at least 12 years. Both my boys were special ed, and I was one of the special ed programs. I was on a special substitute teacher list. So why am I not good enough to be around my sons? And then I hate that I let the marriage beat me down so hard on the inside that I didn't even feel comfortable or confident to even try to fight to get them when their daddy left me. And I know they grown men, and people say those boys are grown.